Basically, the leadership in our country, most of the politicians that we have, they lack that element of practical intelligence, especially when it comes to public speaking. I'm going to be sharing some things with you about this thing called practical intelligence and how it can be developed. So check my video, check the next video. Okay, number one, understanding your audience. This is very key. This is first thing that you need to know as a public speaker. You must understand your audience, especially public office holder must be acutely aware of this. They must be aware of who they are speaking to. In a diverse country like Nigeria, where people come from different ethnic, religious, and social backgrounds, knowing your audience expectations, values, and concerns is vital. And it is practical intelligence that can make you to know how to do this. It's practical intelligence that gives you, that awareness that my audience come from social background, they have these social values, this and that. It's the practical intelligence that gives you that sort of awareness, to know what to say and especially how to say it. So practical intelligence involves tailoring your message to resonate with your audience, to ensure that your words are clear, relevant, and impactful. Those are the things that you want to make sure that you do, because a well-crafted message can unify, it can inspire, and it can also inform. But a poorly constructed one can alienate or confuse people. Like, you remember when one of our leaders, one of our former president, went on an international podium and told the whole world that stealing is not corruption. I don't need to remind you or tell you what damage that does to perception of Nigerians in the diaspora. There's a reputation that Nigeria is trying to rebuild, and then someone goes off in the public space, in the international podium, and says that stealing is not corruption. Like it or not, this statement took us back a lot when it comes to international perception. And there are indices, that such statements will influence when it comes to our economic dispositions. So public office holders, they must know what to say. And not only that president, we also have another president on an international podium when he was asked questions about his wife and said the wife is in the other room. The audience that you have in such a place is such an audience with a high gender inclusivity in politics and business, international community. And you're speaking concerning women folks while the world is trying to see how women can be made inclusive in governance and economics and all that, and then you downplay, the role of women in society. Speaking to such an international audience is basically lack of practical intelligence, to make such statements. And recently we've had so many outbursts from our political leaders. You see somebody talking to his understanding your environment or your audience, you will need to be able to know if you are speaking to people, if you are speaking to your superiors, or you are speaking to your subordinates, you are speaking to people who are your subjects. These three levels, you need to know how to get the best out of those who you are speaking to, or how to pass your message adequately. We also have somebody recently who spoke to his colleagues in the National Assembly that they are not in the club, trying to shut down a woman who was raising an opinion in the Senate. So this lack of practical intelligence. There are better ways, there are better words to use. At a point when people are suffering, at a point, even up to now, when people are suffering the economic hardship in the country, somebody was saying at the National Assembly, was saying it, that some sort of money, has been disbursed, for the Senate members to enjoy their holiday. Everybody knows that there are allowances, for holidays for public holders, whatever it is. But then you do not have to come and rub it off on the people. It is purely lack of practical intelligence, to make such statements. It is lack of empathy. So for leaders, there should be the element of empathy. When you speak, especially when people are going through some certain readjustment or economic adjustments and there are hardships and all that, the way you act, the way you speak, the way you the things you say, they matter. So understanding your audience. And for politics, for political people, you need to understand your people, you need to understand what they're going through, you need to understand what are their hopes, what are their aspirations, what are things that drive them. And your word is supposed to inspire, like I said, to inspire, to encourage, to inform them of the opportunities that are available for them, not to talk in such a way that they feel alienated. So the second point is that there must be clarity of thought and expression. As a public speaker or somebody who is holding a public office, you must be clear in thought and you must be clear in your expression. Because if you are not clear in your thought and expression, people are likely going to you are likely going to be misconstrued. People are likely going to misunderstand you, and when people misunderstand you, you will not be able to carry them along. So clarity is everything. You know, we've seen speeches from public figures ramble on, you know, talking, saying so much without saying anything. At the end of the day, you leave the people more confused than informed. So practical intelligence in public speaking demands that you think clearly before you speak. This means that you organize your thoughts, you understand the core message you want to deliver. You know, you need to understand the message that you plan to deliver in the first place. If you don't understand something you want to deliver, you don't understand the message you want to pass, definitely people will not be able to follow through. They will not be able to get exactly what, for example, a policy direction, you do not understand the policy very well. There's no way by which you can be able to carry people along. You cannot inform people on what you are not clear about. Okay, so before you speak, all right, about such things, you must be sure that you are clear. So practical intelligence demands that you think clearly before you speak. Like I said, it means that you organize your thoughts, you understand the core message you want to deliver, and you express it. You express it in simple and straightforward language. There's no need to be cumbersome. There's no need to use jargons. There's no need to use, even if you demand that you use jargon, you try to speak in such a way that the whole populace will understand. And this boils down to understanding your audience. If you are clear about your message, your audience they will also be clear about your message. Okay, so the clarity, it builds trust and ensure that your communication is effective. So that's the second point. Okay, clarity of thought and expression. Okay, so the third point is timing and context. The third point is timing and context. Okay, so this is crucial. Timing and context is very crucial. A smart public speaker knows not just what to say, but also when and how to say it. And that is why our ancestors will say that there is a time and place for every speech. Okay, there's a time and space. There's a time and place for every speech. That is the timing and context. Practical intelligence is what gives you this knowledge. It gives you that timing, it gives you that context. Okay, because practical intelligence involves being sensitive to the moment, knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. For example, in time of national crisis, your speech should reflect empathy, just like I said in my opening speech, and reassurance, not arrogance and insensitivity. Okay, we've seen so much arrogance and insensitivity, in fact, coming from our National Assembly leadership, in recent times. If you go through the news, like I said, I don't want to mention names. I don't want to mention names of individuals, but at our National Assembly, currently, there has been so much arrogance and insensitivity from our leaders. Okay, it's condemnable, all right, and it's something that our leaders in that chamber, should look into critically. All right. So practical intelligence gives you context and timing. So understanding the context in which you are speaking, helps you to connect better with your audience and avoid unnecessary backlash. Imagine the Senate leadership at a point had to apologize for some of the things that has been uttered in that chamber, owing to the backlash, that came in the aftermath of such utterances. Why having such backlash in the first place when you can demonstrate that intelligence? Anyone holding such leadership position, all right, should demonstrate practical intelligence. It's the kind of intelligence that helps you to do the right thing. I think I can put it that way. It helps you to do the right thing, to say the right thing, okay, without actually having prepared, for such. So you don't need to be caught in the moment, like many of our leaders have been found to do. Some of them, when they are caught in the moment, they are caught with some certain questions and they do not have answers to them. You see them just randomly saying something which at the end of the day will cause some backlash. So like I've said, understanding your audience is very key. That's number one point. Understanding your audience is very key. I also mentioned clarity of thoughts and expression, and the last one is timing and context. So I would just say that understanding your audience, ensuring clarity of thought and expression, and being mindful of timing and context are the three essential components of practical intelligence in public speaking. I'm still going to do one more post on this practical intelligence, and until then, let's all of us strive to speak with intention and intelligence. I would like to repeat that. Okay, until I come back to your way, let all of us strive to speak with intention and intelligence. Thank you very much for watching. I am VA.